back. If you are new here, my name is Relly. I am a queer disabled YA author and sometimes a freelance writer and editor. I am here today with exciting news. I received the initial concepts for my front cover today. So exciting. I did not upload last week for many reasons, but I have been waiting to do this video for a couple weeks now. The original timeline was quite quick, and then my cover designer very quickly got bombarded with a bunch of jobs and the timeline stretched a little bit. Totally fine, because my timeline has also changed a bit. So I did get my cover concepts today. One of them is great. We're gonna do a couple little revisions and move forward with it. And the funny thing is that it's not really what I was thinking in my head, but better, if that makes sense. I sent a bunch of inspiration photos. I kind of had an idea in my head of what I thought I wanted the cover to look like. And my cover designer actually based it more off one specific inspiration photo. And I love it. It's gonna be great. So that's my exciting update. We are moving ahead with that cover concept. I should hopefully have my revisions sometime next week, and then we'll be able to move on to the spine and back cover and all of that. We do have a bit more time than we had planned because my timeline is behind. Originally, the cover contract was supposed to be done February 28th. Today is the 7th. It's my partner's birthday. Happy birthday to him. I knew from the get-go that I wasn't gonna have the book formatted in time to give the cover designer the final page count by the 28th. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. So we had already known that we wouldn't be like officially done until probably the first or second week of March. But with how behind I am now, I'm worried if I'm even gonna hit that deadline. So although the cover deadline is taking longer than initially planned, it's fine because I'm so far behind. So my plan for today, the children have gone to the grandparents. I don't even have a vehicle because my van is in the shop getting a new starter. Yes, Jesse's birthday is today. Mine is on the 11th, and we're spending $800 on a starter for our van. So happy birthday to us, I guess. But that's good that the van is in the shop today, because that means I can't just dilly-dally and decide I'm gonna go to Indigo or, you know, do literally anything else. So I'm gonna sit my butt in this chair and I'm gonna do revisions on my nice big screen because there's no children here being noisy, and I'm just gonna do as much as I can. It's just after 10 now, it's almost 10:15. I'm hoping there's gonna be some writing sprints either on YouTube, or maybe Kate Kavanaugh will have one on Twitch. I know she sometimes doesn't do them Fridays, so I'll have to take a look. But hopefully I can get some motivation and get some work done. The scary part is that the more work I do on these revisions, the more work I have to do. So as I'm revising, I'm going through the whole book. As I'm revising things, I'm also making notes. Like, I have a whole note document of other things to change. So the more I revise, the more things I have to do when I'm done revising, if that makes sense. So like, this final round of revisions has actually now turned into 2 rounds of revisions, and I'm already like 3 weeks behind. So, ooh, not a good spot to be in. I don't want to be here. I hate this feeling. I'm not going to make excuses for why I am so behind. It was a number of reasons, and here I am. So I need to stop jabbering on and sit my butt in this chair and get some work done. Someone wants to say hello. Say hello, hello. So that's the plan. The house is quiet. I've got my big screen. It's Friday. I can't go anywhere. I'm just gonna sit and work. I do need to be careful of my brain because I don't want to get myself to a spot where I'm not feeling well and then not be able to celebrate Jesse's birthday tonight. I don't know if we're gonna go out for dinner or order in or what we're gonna do, but I wanna make sure that I am not feeling like crap later. So I do need to pace myself. So I'm going to very quickly grab a snack and get my butt in this chair. Let's see what happens.
Manifesting 99 minutes, I need to do real work. 1,100 words already today in my R&R. I feel like so motivated. I'm here for the long sprints.
Okay friends, it is 12 o'clock and I actually made really great progress. I got 22 pages revised, which is amazing. I've only been doing chunks of like 10-ish pages at a time, so that's great. I am on page 100 of 225-ish, depending on how many words I had. So not quite halfway through. I would love to get to the halfway point today. So if I can do another like 12-ish pages, that would be great. But I am hungry for lunch and my head is starting to bother me. I have, does this happen to anybody else? I know I have like migraine issues and stuff, but every once in a while I will have a bunch of floaters in one eye, you know, like little spots, and you like blink and they move. I have a bunch of floaters in my one eye this morning, and trying to see past them and stare at the screen is not, it's not great. So my head's feeling pretty crummy after about an hour and a half of work. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna have some lunch. I might like watch a TV show. I know that sounds counterintuitive because I just said that my head hurts from the screen, but focusing on a TV far away is typically okay, whereas focusing on screens up close is the problem for me. So I think I will maybe throw a TV show on and eat some lunch and yeah, just relax for a little bit. I need to switch my laundry over. I'll probably do that. And then hopefully this afternoon I can get another hour or so of work in to get to that halfway point at least. That would be great. If I could get another 45 pages, that would actually catch me up to where I'm supposed to be for Monday. So I might aim for that. But again, I don't want to push it and make myself not feel well for tonight for celebrating Jesse's birthday. So we'll see how it goes. I will check back in with you this afternoon and we'll see. Am I gonna hit the halfway mark, which is like 12 and a half pages? Am I going to hit the like 125 page mark, which would just leave me with 100 pages left? Or am I gonna hit the 145 page mark, which will catch me up to where I need to be for Monday? And even if I don't get to 1:45, I could also do some work on the weekend to get me there and still be on time for Monday. So I'm really just gonna base it on how my head is feeling. But for now, switching laundry, making lunch, taking some Tylenol, and just relaxing my eyes for a little bit. And we'll see, I'll see you in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Look at this suck of a beast over here. I think I talked about it in my library tour video. Yes, hello Fern. You're so blurry. This doesn't want to focus on you. Hello, focus. I bought that bench for the cats because the cats like sitting and looking out the window, but it's actually this giant beast who lays on it most of the time, and she's too big for it, aren't you? You look silly. I don't think it looks very comfy, but she loves it. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm cozied up in bed. It was kind of chilly downstairs. I've got my lunch. These are like pre-packaged chicken stir fries from Costco. They're super tasty. If I remember, I will insert a picture of what the packaging looks like. I really like them. I have Criminal Minds queued up on the TV, and I am in for a little bit of relaxation. Friends, okay, number one, I'm on my phone, and you know that I don't know where to look when I'm filming on my phone. I think over here. Hopefully that's right. My day has gotten a bit derailed. It's 3:07. I switched my laundry. I made lunch. I took some meds for my head and my mouth that were hurting me. I'm waiting to have some dental work done, so I'm having a lot of like nerve pain in my mouth. So I'm taking constant meds for that. I did all that and my head continued to get worse. So I took a little snooze, little nappy poo for, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes or so. My head feels better. Amazing. I called the car place, what's it called? Mechanic, and got an update. They are sending someone to pick me up at 4:20. So I have an hour to get ready. And I got another email from my cover designer. They already did revisions for me on what I talked about this morning. How exciting is that? Super exciting. Oh, I have another message. Okay. They already did revisions. The cover is almost done. Like, it's so close to perfect. I sent back a few little tiny tweaks. Super excited. They said they would try and get it back to me within the next day or so. Maybe if it's quick enough, maybe later today. I don't know. We'll see. That's super exciting. I'm really glad that this is sort of moving along now. So, however, that means I have to write my blurb because they're going to want to start working on the back cover. They need my blurb, and I don't have one. I have Twitter pitches that are pretty good, actually. I got a lot of interest in the couple of Twitter pitch contests that I did back when Twitter was still Twitter. So I have those to go off of. I have my query letter, and I have my 2-page synopsis. The problem is that I've done so many rounds of revisions since I queried it that I don't know that my query letter and my synopsis are even really all that accurate. Obviously, the Twitter pitches still are because they are just about like the main themes of the book. So I need to take my query letter and my Twitter pitches and
think about all the revisions I've made or that I know I'm going to make and try and come up with something. I guess that's going to be my project for the weekend, because if they get back to me in the next day or so Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday, they're going to need to move forward after that, because I think that will probably be the finishing touches on the front cover. So, yikes. So, I don't have enough time to get my brain back into work mode and still get dressed and ready to go in the next hour. I can't do both of those things. So I am going to get dressed and ready, and then hopefully, if my head is still feeling good when I get back, I'm going to sit down and try and work for another hour before Jesse gets home from work, because he'll be home around 5:30 or so. And if I could get another hour's work in to get at least those 12 pages done to get me to halfway, that would be great. Although now that I'm kind of on this like track of thinking about the blurb, I might actually sit down and try and do an hour's work on the blurb instead. I'll just have to see how I'm feeling when I get back. If I'm not feeling 100%, which my head already is not really 100%, I will probably have an easier time working on the blurb, because that's something new and different. And that's something that is more going to be just sort of like finagling sentences. I guess that's the same as revision. I don't know, just because it's like new and different, and it's not as overwhelming in the sense that I still have like 125 pages of it to do, you know? So anyway, all this is to say, I will see how I'm feeling when I get back, but that is the plan for the rest of the day. And then I'll be done when Jesse gets home at 5:30, and I will just have to see where the weekend takes me. But very exciting news that I already got those revisions back. It's the kick in the butt that I needed to get working on the blurb, because they're going to need that ASAP. And yeah, so I'm going to go get ready to go get my van and pay them $800. And that will be my afternoon. So I will check in with you later when I get back and I'm working again. But that is the update for now.
All right, friends, I'm home. It's 20 to 5, and Jesse's boss actually let him leave early because it's his birthday and it's snowy, so the roads are getting bad. So he's gonna be home in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So I don't have time to sit back down and get into work. If it wasn't his birthday, then I just would anyway. But this dog is being crazy. I'm so sorry. But we're gonna order in food and all the things. So I think this is where I'm gonna end for today. I got to page 100. Considering I started at 78, that feels pretty good. Considering my head wasn't great and I had a nap and I had to pick up the van, I think I did pretty good today. So I guess that's my video for today, unless I end up working this weekend, and maybe I'll throw some clips of that on this video as well. I don't know. I guess you and I will both wait and see. But in case this is the last clip, thank you so much for watching. I am so excited for you all to see the Project Camp cover, to hear the real title after almost 5 years of calling it Project Camp. 4.5 years, I guess, is more accurate, of calling it Project Camp. I'm excited to share it all with you. I am, the closer we get, feeling a lot of imposter syndrome. like a lot. There's a reason why most people don't get a publishing deal on their first book, and that's because you learn so much throughout the process of writing your first book, revising your first book, writing synopses, writing query letters, doing all the things. Like, you learn so much in that process. And I also have learned so much in that process, especially since I've been working on it for 4.5 years. If I were to write Project Camp again now, almost 5 years later, I don't know that I'd write it all that differently in terms of plot points, but I think the prose would be a lot different. Every time I've revised it, the prose has gotten better, and I know that if I were to write it from scratch now where I'm at, it would be a different book. But because this is the book of my heart and the one that I have been thinking about in my head since I was 15 years old, 23 years, I don't want to not publish it just because it's not up to the quality of a Becky Albertalli or an Adam Silvera. You know what I mean? They have written, what, Adam Silvera's on like 10 books, I think, maybe, and Becky Albertalli's at like 8 or something like that, with an entire team behind them, with professional editors, with all of these things. They are incredible writers. Adam Silvera's a multi-New York Times bestseller. Like, I need to stop comparing myself to them and their books. And the only reason I keep using them as examples is because that's who I feel like my niche little group is. Like, I feel like my book would say for people who love Becky Albertalli, like that, you know what I mean? I don't know what that's called, but in a perfect world, that is who I would compare myself to in terms of a similar writing style, similar vibes, similar themes, all of that. So I lost my train of thought. I need to stop comparing myself to published authors with 8 or 10 or 12 books under their belts who have gone through this process with professional editors dozens of times at this point. And I need to not let my imposter syndrome prevent me from enjoying the process of releasing this book. And regardless of how many people buy it, how many people read it, what the ratings are, other people's opinion of my book is none of my business. And I wrote it to share it with the world. And I've revised it for 4.5 years so that I could share it with the world. And I paid for a cover designer so that I could share it with the world. And I've put all this work in, and I'm going to share it with the world. And my next book will be even better. And I just need to be okay with that. I need to live in that place with all of the feelings and be okay with it. Yeah. So I'm living with the imposter syndrome. I am doing my best with the limitations I have been given, and I am excited to get this book out in the world. I hope you'll read it and I hope you'll enjoy it. But don't tell me. Bye, friends.